So, what happened in the types of money we were doing? Metallic coins. Metallic coins were very difficult to carry. Storage problem was there. Heavy things. The purse used to get heavy. Asharafiyan. Metallic coins were heavy, very heavy, and there wasn't any uniformity as well. They required some consistent and easy to carry thing. So paper money came into being. Paper money. That is the reason paper money came. It has uniformity, easy to carry, right? Now paper money in India, the currency is rupees, right? The currency is rupees. Rupee 1 coins are issued by Government of India. GOI, Government of India issues rupee 1. Other currency notes are issued by Reserve Bank of India, Central Bank of India. The other currency notes, 5,000, 2,000, 100 rupees, Government of India. RBI, sorry, other currency notes are issued by RBI. In this 100 rupee note, at present, you can see governor sign. Governor of RBI. Right. Rupee 1 is issued by Government of India. Other currency notes are issued by Central Bank. In our case, Central Bank is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So when you will be able to see, when you open the currency notes, you will see the signature of governor. Governor is RBI's governor. Right. Now, even though the money, paper money, fifth type of money, paper money, was a great option, but risk to carry, storage and risk of theft was there. Physical storage, physical exchange were required, due to which with the change in the evolution of, with the change in the exchange, business exchange, due to which another form of money came, bank money or credit money. Are you aware about checks? That is a bank money. Are you aware about demand draft? That is a bank money. So, sixth type is bank money, which includes check and demand draft. You must be aware about what is a check, how it looks like. See, generally we hear draw the check, give the check. Right, while paying your college fees, sometimes your parents give you check and you deposit in the clerk section, in the depository section. Check looks like somewhat like this. Right, here the bank's name is written, branch in which your bank is. Suppose I need to pay my college fee. No home will be having 50,000, 60,000 available. Generally, large amount, big amount is not available. If it is available, it is used for cash transactions. To do heavy transactions, checks are used to do business. Checks are used and many other purposes. Generally, for every purpose, you can draw the check, give it to the person. The person will get the money from the bank where he has the account. Okay. Here, pay. Pay means person to whom you want it to pay. Suppose your name is Raju. I'll write your name here. I'll write in the words. Then I'll write in the number how much amount. 2000. Then I will write in the words 2000. And here I will write the amount. Here I will do the signature because I want to pay it to you. I will use my bank account checkbook where my bank is. That bank will allot me a checkbook which looks like this. Here I will be writing whom I am sending, name of the person, amount in words, amount in number, and then signature. Right? This is right. This is a check. So when there is a heavy business, if I have purchased goods and I want to make payment to company B, who's company B, I can draw the check, okay, sign it, write the name of the person or the company and hand it over to them. Physical handing over this leaflet to the person required. Then that person will go in his own bank and can receive the amount. This is a check. Mode of payment. Then is demand draft. In demand draft, what did happen in check? I should have account in the bank, in my bank, and then only that bank will issue me a checkbook which I can use for making payment to my client, to my suppliers. Right? If my clients are supposed to pay me, they will give me check of their bank which I will get in cash from my bank once I receive this page which is signed by them. Okay? Who has to pay me will give his own bank check by signature on it, defining the amount properly in words and in number, and will hand it over to me physically. In demand draft, there is no requirement, there is no compulsion of having a bank account. In case I need to pay to you, right, and your company name is ABC company, right, I go to any bank and I want to pay you 50,000. I'll take the cash with me 50,000. Ask any bank to make suppose the cash is which I want to transfer is 15,000. I'll go to bank with the 15,000. The bank will take the cash, will give me some leaflet or something to write. I will mention name and everything, and they will make a draft. Of that draft document they will give it to me, which I will transfer it to you physically, either by courier or sending by hand or by courier or whatever. When you will receive that draft, same like check, you will go to your bank and get it encashed. Right? This is the bank draft. If I have the account in my bank, right, I can even make a bank draft. I can instruct my bank to give me a bank draft in the favor of so and so person. They will make a bank draft which once I receive, I will send it to the person to whom I need to pay. He will get that document and further get it encashed from his own bank. Whether you have bank account or you don't have bank account, you still can work with demand draft. Okay? See, if you don't have any bank account and you have brought the physical cash to the encounter, they will ask you to give some identity. Alright, how do they will know that you are you're sending ethical thing? legal thing. So they need to know your identity, whether you're the right person. There shouldn't be any money laundering or some tax evasion or something. So that's why they will ask you in case of no bank account. If you're asking to make a bank draft, they will ask you some identity. Right? So, bank money check and demand draft. By this, the payment can be done. Now, after this, since the changes are coming in the exchange sector, in business sector, there came after this plastic money. Now, what is the plastic money? Plastic money, rethink. Now, you kids use it. You were while shopping online, you do something. What do you use? Debit card. Isn't it made up of plastic? And credit card. They are plastic money. Debit card. Debit card is just like prepaid card. What happens? We have debit card with us. We make shopping. We do some shopping online. We type our number, a PIN code, or some secret number. Debit card number. Check my debit card. See. This is a debit card. Right? It is 16-digit debit card. Right? It has a chip here. It is plastic made. So, this plastic card, debit card, how I was issued this card? I had an account in my bank. And they gave me this debit card, which even I say it ATM. I can withdraw money from the ATM machine from it. I can send money through this debit card from my bank account to the supplier, to the other party directly. Right? I can swipe it at the counter, point of sales counter. By swiping it, there is a chip inside. They note down your number and you type that secret number and the transaction happens in seconds. Neither the physical form of currency I held, nor I stored something. Only one single card held for me. Right? Then, then what? And it is, but why did I say it is just like a prepaid card? My bank account should have money, and then only the transaction will happen. From my bank account, the money will be deducted once I use the debit card, right? Now, in case of credit card is just like a short loan given by the bank. Those who have good amount in the account or who have great credibility, then only the bank issues this card. Otherwise, it's very risky for the banks. I tell you what, it is just like a loan. If you don't pay the loan, they will be at danger. They won't get any money. What happens? After you are issued a credit card, it is also plastic money, just like ATM. It is also having a 16 digits, and it also has a PIN and password as well. If you want to make a payment to somebody, you can make a payment to somebody. It will not be deducted from your account of your bank. bank will give you facility to pay to its bank within a time period without any interest. In case you pay after those days, the interest will be charged to you. It acts same like it. You can swipe it, you can pay it, you can pay online, and everything can happen through the credit cards, just like debit. But here the deduction initially doesn't happen from a bank account. Bank pays it, and once those days are over, the limit in which you can enjoy free interest, short loan, free interest amount over, then bank will charge you penalty for it or fee for it. So it's better to pay within the days. Generally, those people who make credit cards are those ones who are in immediate need of the money, and they know that they will replenish, they will get money from somewhere, and they will be able to pay to the bank on time. Just like businessmen who happen to get windfall gains, who happen to get good income, who use their brain, they plan, if we use this much amount of money, right? If we use from bank as a credit, using credit card, then within how many days we will be able to pay? Everybody would like to pay within the limit only, not after exceeding the due date. Nobody would like to, otherwise penalty will be charged. Salaried people whose income are constant, businessmen people whose income is more than sufficient, who earn more, or salaried people who earn good amount, to them credit cards are given. Then only there will not be some counterfeit of the payment. Then bank issues to those people only on whom it has trust. And trust is by looking into the profession he is into, client is into, credit worthiness, amount in the bank account, and likewise. Right? So credit card and debit card, explain, these are the plastic money. After debit and credit card, now this plastic money also you have to hold and you have to type. Now after that there came electronic money. Nowadays you come to hear about Paytm, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, and many more like that. What are these? They are electronic payment, where you in their account you transfer money, and on the occasion of making transactions you can mention those accounts, you can type about those accounts and get it deducted from their account. They are Paytm and Google Pay and Amazon Pay and many other allied. Right? Electronic money. Then comes legal tender money and non-legal tender money. Legal tender. By the name itself, the government which recognizes the money which has legally abide, that sort of entity is a legal tender money. Like the money in use, the currency in India, the currency in any country, that is a legal tender money. Legal tender money cannot be refused by anyone. It is accepted by all. Nobody can refuse it because it is backed by the government. The face value, the trust upon government is there, of the people is there, government is back upon it. That's why it is a legal money. Nobody can deny, I won't take rupees. Suppose you go and to purchase a fridge and you pay, if the fridge cost is 30,000 and you pay 30,000 by cash. No, cash of Indian currency, right denomination, that is a legal tender. If they do, it is legal. Illegal. If anybody refuses, it will be illegal. So, legal tender money is the normal money that we use. legal tender money. If where the amount of good is 100 rupees, I can use this 100 rupees over there. Nobody can deny me, I won't take 100 rupees. No. Why? The same country, same currency, same denomination, right denomination, and backed up by the government. I told you that how it is backed up by government. It is 100 rupee note and any other note which is they are issued by RBI, Reserve Bank of India, Central Bank of India. When it is being backed up by the central government, how can anyone deny it? Nobody will deny it legal tender money. Whereas non-legal tender money. Non-legal tender money is the money which can be refused. Checks can be refused. No, I won't take the check. Maybe you have no money in your account and you are giving me check. Suppose you give me check and I say, no, I won't be taking it. Maybe your account doesn't have a money and the check will get bounced. Which bank will pay me if your account doesn't have money? Sitting at home, I won't know that your account is having a money. I have to take a check to the bank, and once it gets cancelled or bounced, who will be at loss? So checks and bill of exchange can get refused. They are not being backed up by anyone, because until you don't have money in your account, how it will move further? So that's why there is some uncertainty person who takes it. Cash is the very safest mode in that case, in getting counterfeited. Check and bill of exchange are optional money. So that's why they can be rejected. So kids, so far we have done the types of money, right? Why this came, why after metallic coins came money, cash money, then after cash money, plastic money, right? All these things, why? And then electronic money, they all have their uses and use their applicability in present business situation and conditions. Right? Okay, after that, we will understand what are the qualities of money. What are the qualities of money? Why do we say it is a money, although it looks like a paper? What are the qualities of money? So far, we did barter system and its difficulty. That gave rise to the types of money. In types of money, around 8 to 9 types of money we did. After that, we are doing qualities of money. Why this paper is known as a money? Why? See, when I was explaining the term money, I was telling the author gave that it should be acceptable. It should be acceptable to the parties. Now, this paper, this 100 rupees should be acceptable. Qualities of money. First is journal acceptability. Right. Journal acceptability, that means I am a person, B, C, D person. He is a retailer, factory, supplier. From supplier, this factory takes the raw material. After raw material, then it produces the goods, it sends it to retailers, and retailers to consumers. Right? When supplier will sell the goods to factory person to consumer, when this A person gets the product, okay, purchase the product, pays money, suppose rupees. This rupee or any money should be acceptable to B. B will take only if it is acceptable to parties, all the parties. C will accept it only if it is acceptable to S. So, journal acceptability should be there. To all the parties in the chain, it should be acceptable to them. Right? So, anything other than money or rupees you are using, it should be acceptable. In this cases, it should be acceptable to him. In there two people in the case, it should be acceptable to C, and so forth and so on, and so forth, right? Then, second is divisibility. There must be small transaction of there are small transactions, so there should be small denominations of the money. Right? Should be divided into small denomination to facilitate small transactions. Right? Small transactions. Now, in India, rupee 5 is there, rupee 10 is there, rupees 20, 100 is there. For small transactions, there is a divisibility of the thing. That's when this paper, like papers, are regarded as money. So anything, this paper or anything which you are regarding as money should be having divisibility quality. Okay, that it should contain a small denomination in order to make exchange. Now, only big if there is a 1 lakh rupee only, if 1 lakh paper note only, will it be of you any use? If you go to market and you go to purchase chocolate, if chocolate costs 50 rupees, what the 1 lakh rupee will do? It will be very difficult for exchange. You will be asking for a balance and it will be very difficult. So if it is 50 rupees you are having in the system, 100 rupees are having, then it is easy to purchase the goods. Because all the transactions are not heavy transactions. Small and petty transactions do happen. That's why divisibility should be there. A quality of a money. After that, durability. Third is, in quality of money, durability. Third, what is durability? Durability means long lasting. For a good duration, it must be in use. People should be in position to accept your money for a longer duration. There should be repeatedly used. Sustainability should be more. It should not be rejected. Suppose I go, when my dadi used to be there, she used to have a coins, paisa, 10 paisa, 25 paisa. Now that 25 paisa had a good duration in older time. But today, that 25 paisa, if you go and purchase a toffee, you won't be getting even with that 25 paisa, you won't be able to get one toffee even. Right? So, now that 25 paisa durability is less or hardly in existence. Durability means people at the other end should be able to accept it for a longer time. Now 2000 rupees have rose in the past few years. It rose, right? It got minted, it got imprinted. It will be having durability. After 2 months, was it cancelled? Was it failed? The currency was failed, or the note were failed? No. For many years, they will be in use for transaction. So, repeatedly use and acceptability is a part of durability. For many years, it should be in use. Notes and coins. See, I have a coin, one rupee coin. The date, the year in which it was made, it is 2013. It is written over here. Even today, 2020, 2021, 2022, it will have its durability. You will be able to purchase anything of 1 rupee by this very coin, right? Then, cognizability. Cognizability means recognition, identification. Cognizability means recognition. There must be currencies should be recognized. Currency of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan must be having some identification. Like in case we have rupee. What is this rupee? Symbol. Then on the note we have in India, we have Gandhiji. Right? Denomination is mentioned. Right? In several languages, the script is written. So there is an identification to rupee. And secondly, right, cognizability. Then there comes portability. Isn't it easy to carry? If you are using something else than money, should I possess all these quality, durability, cognizability, portability, that is carrying from one place to another. Since transactions do not happen in the same city, it happens all over the world. So currencies should be able to meet these requirements of portability too also. It shouldn't be costly to carry a currency. If for carrying a currency it's going to cost, then the handling charges will be more for carrying a currency or money, right? Homogeneity means, suppose I am taking 200 rupees note. They should be homogeneous in the nature. See, everything is same. Denomination, figure, picture. Denomination, figure, picture, language written, everything is same. Only that number is different, obviously. There must be some change in the production also, na? So they assign a number. They have some system in the monetary system, right? See at the back, everything same. Same denomination must be having identical feature. This is homogeneity. Then stability. Money should have a stable monetary value. It's a measure of value of exchange. There must be stability, right? The stability must be there, that one other country should even have faith on your money, currency. It shouldn't change every day. Now 100 rupees note is not getting changed every day. If you collect many coins, you will see coins of 2009, 1988. They are remain in use. People accept it, people recognize them. So there is a durability and stability. Right? So anything which is regarded as money possesses these qualities. Then only they are called money. Got it, my friends, my kids? So after that, right, I will be taking part 3, okay, where we will study functions of money.